everyone, welcome to another cooking video. So this morning I'm making tomato, pepper and carrot soup with coconut milk. So I know sometimes people put cream in their soup, but I don't really like cream very much, and also I think coconut milk is quite a healthy alternative, or a healthier alternative. But yeah, so I've made this soup. I kind of just came about it by accident, I think, really. Just I was trying to use up some ingredients, but it turned out alright, so I've continued to make it for the last few months, so I just thought I'd make a quick video. So I've got some carrot here, it's grated. There's just one carrot, but normally I would put 2 or 3, but there's just one left and the shopping is coming tomorrow. And then a pepper, a red pepper, some chopped up basil, which is about 50p for a little packet. And I've got 2 tins of tomatoes and some coconut milk. So I'm just going to put I'm just going to have a big saucepan to put and just got a little bit of olive oil in there that will just heat up for a few minutes just so that it can get a bit hot. And then we're just going to sweat the pepper and the carrot. They're going to be the first things to go in. So you just want to wait for your oil to be able to swirl around the pan a little bit. I really don't have fancy cooking things because I don't really see the point, and these ones work quite well. So once your oil is a bit hot, you just pop your carrot in and your pepper to start with. I could have let it get a little bit hotter, but it doesn't really matter too much. I'm someone that I've been cooking for quite a few years now, so I had my son when I was 18, and I just cooked everything from scratch the majority of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, mainly because I was worried about becoming a typical single mother, so I decided to go the other way. But it doesn't mean we didn't have the odd takeaway or things, but yeah. So I tried to do most of the cooking. So just give that a mix so that the pepper and the carrot can be covered in a bit of olive oil. And then you're really just I'm just gonna put the lid on so that it can sweat a bit. Whatever lid you've got is fine, and whatever saucepan you've got is fine as well. So just while that's sweating for a few minutes, I just thought I'd talk through the ingredients a little bit, because so these are whatever make, these are from Sainsbury's, these products, but obviously you can get them in any supermarket, and really you don't need expensive tomatoes to make this. So even if you're using the value ones, that's fine, there's no issue with that, and often they're the same product anyway between the cheaper products and the ones with the high-end branding on. Yeah, so the coconut milk wise, I just tried to look at the amount of coconut extract it has. So this one has got 68%, but because obviously I live in a country where we don't grow coconuts and it's not readily available, I could get coconut, but I honestly don't have time for that, or the skills probably to chop a coconut up and make it enough to put in the soup. So yeah, so that's the coconut milk. I just used a normal grater to grate my carrot, nothing fancy, and one little knife. So you don't need a great deal of cooking equipment to make soup. The only other thing I have got though is a blender. So this is not an expensive one, it literally is in 2 parts. Just pop it together, and then that is my soup blender. So I don't use soup makers or anything else like that, because to be perfectly honest, it would take me longer to learn how to work the machine than it would for me to make this soup. So yeah, I don't do that. Okay, and I'll be back in a second once it's sweated a little bit more. Okay, so it's been about a minute or 2 since I let it sweat. So we'll just have a little look. Be careful when you take the lid off, because there will be quite a lot of steam. You just drip the water in so that it can steam a bit more with that. So we'll just give it another mix. It doesn't really have to cook for too long at this point. Oh, it's a bit steamy on the camera. So then we're just going to pop in our tomatoes. Just careful that steam. And some more. And then the other thing I'm going to do in a minute is just put a little bit of water back in the tomato can, so that and just to get a little bit more liquid, but so that we'll use a bit of water as well. And also it just means you're cleaning your tins at the same time. And then just squeeze the coconut milk in. It should just come out in a second. So easy with one hand. And the lid might fall off, but never mind. There we go. So just pop all that in there. Okay, and then you're just going to mix it. And the coconut milk will just all melt nicely away. Just for kind of complete prep time, so I started making this at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's now about 8:15, so we're up to about 15 minutes of actual prep time, even though the video is a bit shorter than that, because I don't want people to think that, you know, there isn't a bit of prep time, so I try to be open with how long it's actually taking me. I quite enjoy cooking, but I also don't like cooking to take all day, and I often have to be in the right mood. So this will make about 4 bowls of soup, maybe 5. And the other thing I've started to use some of it for, if I get a bit bored of tomato soup, is to use some of it as like pasta sauce as well. So it can be used for multiple purposes. So the other day I used it to make a pasta sauce that had falafel in it, and I had that with spaghetti. So you can really use it for what you want. It doesn't just have to be what you make it as tomato soup. So once that's all mixed in, we're just gonna pop the lid back on again for a few minutes, and I will come back in a minute. Okay, so it's now 8:23, so it's been cooking for a few minutes, so we'll just take the lid off again, and then we're just going to pop in the basil. So it's always better to put herbs in towards the end, otherwise they lose their flavour. Well, that's what I've found anyway. I'm sure other people have different opinions on that, but I always just try and put them in at the end because they don't really need actual cooking, but they just let it flavour them through. Well, with this one anyway, because it's going to sit for a while before I eat it, so it can still absorb the flavour of the basil as we go. So just give that a mix through. Can turn the heat off as well. So obviously people like their soup in different types of thickness. So this one normally comes out fairly thick once it's liquidised. But obviously if you want it thinner, you just add more water. This is a little bit thinner than normal just because it's only got the 1 carrot in it, I think. So it's probably a little bit waterier than it would have been. And the reason I'm making some of these videos really is because, although I've already said that I've been cooking for a long time, I don't want people to feel fearful of cooking. So I just want people to realise that actually, you know, there's always a place to start. No one gets good at cooking, you know, right from the beginning, and it's always good to just try something if you like it. You never know, you might like it. Not everything you make is going to be what you want to eat. Sometimes things won't turn out quite the way you wanted or you hoped. But if you know kind of what flavours you like and what ingredients you like, then really actually you can't go too far wrong. Just experimenting with those. So I'm just going to liquidise it now with my very simple liquidiser, because I really don't do too many faffy things. Right, so it might help if I turned it on. Okay. mess with this one because it's a bit waterier. So that's about it. Seeing that I've got some tomato soup on my camera now, that doesn't matter. And that's it really. So it is now smooth tomato, pepper, carrot and coconut soup with some basil. And I'm just going to leave it now. I'll probably have some for lunch, but I will also freeze some. So normally to freeze things I either use a empty takeaway box or an empty Greek yogurt pot. So the kind of bigger ones make quite a nice single serving pot, or if you fill it right up it can only fit 2 in. So I always try and keep my containers so that I can use them to freeze things. And that's it. So I hope you enjoy cooking this, and I'll make another video soon, and have a good day. Bye.